Everyone, welcome to our virtual DiscoverFest. I'm going to start with the introduction. My name is Patrice Thomas, and I am currently the Student Activities Graduate Assistant. This is being recorded, so if people weren't able to make it, it will be put on YouTube and all social media platforms that we have. And so now the other GAs are going to introduce themselves, and then our panelists can introduce themselves as well.
Hi, I am Amelia Cobb. I'm also a graduate assistant in the Student Activities Office at WKU, and this is the Greek DiscoverFest group. So just to give you a little Greek info, I went to undergrad at WKU, and I was a member of Alpha Xi Delta, very involved in Greek life there, and that is a Pan-Hellenic organization. So yeah.
Okay, and I am Alyssa Belton. I actually am the Greek graduate assistant for student activities. I also was Greek in undergrad. However, I did not go here. My chapter does not exist here, but I'm an Alpha Chi Omega. But yes, I work with Greek life here on campus, so I'm excited for this.
Okay, rewind. One thing I forgot to share was I did attend Western in my undergrad years, and I'm also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. I did my undergrad at Western, but I'm currently in a graduate chapter in Louisville. So I guess we can start with whoever's ready to start and introduce themselves to everyone.
I'll go ahead. Hey everyone, my name is Destiny. I'm the MPHC president, and I'm also a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. I'm a senior, and I'll be graduating in December.
Who would like to go next? Kimberly.
Okay, so hi, my name is Kimberly Jefferson, and I'm the current president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated from the Epsilon Zeta chapter, and I'm also a senior.
Is it my turn now? Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Nigel Farmer. I'm the current vice president of the Colton Cocky chapter of Ada Rho, of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I am a senior, soon to be fifth year, but that's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Well, the people that are on the screen are panelists who are you're going to answer questions about your organization, and then there's some people who are watching who are not on camera learning about your organizations, a little bit more about Greek life at WKU. People here from your chapter to represent your chapter, now's the time to introduce yourselves.
I'm going to go ahead and ask the question, and any of the panelists can answer this question. Let's see. How did you balance being involved in student organizations and balance your academics?
Personally, I balance it by having a planner or just writing down things that I need for academics and things that I need for, let's say, AK or other organizations I'm involved
in. Yeah, like she said, I write everything down, and sometimes when I have a lot of stuff to do, I'll even color code stuff. So like SGRO stuff, MPHC stuff, class stuff, work stuff. Seriously, write everything down. Don't procrastinate, manage your time well, prioritize, but yeah.
So for me personally, this is my first semester trying to balance Greek life with my scholastic work. The second week of class, it's starting to pick up, but like they said, writing down is very important. And just as you join an organization, what you got to lean on is the people that you're with. Communication is key, and just trying to stay on the same page will really help you out. And yeah.
So now can we hear a little bit for the panelists that are here? You could talk a little bit about your organization, what you love about your organization, what you do, so the people listening can hear a little bit about your organization specifically.
Okay, I was told only 30 seconds, so I won't talk too long. But like I said, I'm the president of NPHC. If you don't know what that is, it's the National Panhellenic Council, and it's composed of 9 historically Black fraternity and sororities. And then I'm also a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. We were founded November 12th, 1922 at Butler University in Indianapolis, Indiana. We are the only D9 sorority that was founded at a PWI. If you all want to know more about that, then feel free to ask. But most of our mission is catered towards women and children, so a lot of our national projects do stuff like that. But yeah.
Kimberly, you want to go next? Maybe just give a short.
Yes, I can go next. Okay, so once again, my name is Kimberly, and I'm the current president of Epsilon Zeta chapter and of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And we were the first Black Greek organization chartered on this campus, and we have been thriving ever since. Our programs include Freshman Tea, which will be held August 21st of this year at 6:08 p.m. Also, we have our Her event, which is to recognize and remember breast cancer survivors. And during this spring semester, we will be celebrating our 50th anniversary for our Miss Black Western pageant. And for any additional events, we post often on Instagram at Epsilon Zeta _AKAs. Thank you for your time.
All right, Anthony, you're up.
All right, so I'm using one of my brother's accounts. My name is Nigel Farmer, Vice President of the Ada Road chapter. So, question. Ada Road chapter was founded on October 31st, 1971, here at Western Kentucky University. Thing I like most, is, I came into this chapter, and I didn't really know much of the brothers, but, we've grown, and, I can lean on these guys for anything. A little about this upcoming week, we actually have some tables about voters registration. I hope to see you guys out. We're going to be located in front of DSU. And if you want to know anything more, follow us on WKU Alphas on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, just you see me on campus, feel free to reach out. More than just Greek life, I can help you find, any buildings or classes. I've been here for a while. I'm here to help.
Thank you all. And for those of you watching and you're interested in Greek life in general, just to kind of give you a quick idea of what Greek life at WKU is like. So there's 3 councils. There's NPHC, which is represented in the panelists here. At WKU, there's all of the Divine 9 NPHC organizations. There's also the Panhellenic Council, and the Interfraternity Council. So all 3 are represented at WKU. Panhellenic and IFC, the Interfraternity Council, have already had recruitment for this fall, but you can keep your eyes open for spring recruitment. And then in PHC recruitment, you can learn more about in Greek 101. So if anyone else, I don't know, Patrice or Alyssa had anything else to add to that.
Yes, to piggyback off of Alyssa, we do have some Greek 101 sessions. Greek 101 is mandatory in order to join an NPHC Greek organization. And so the first section is next Thursday, September 10th, 5:30 in DSU 3024. And if you go to our account on Instagram and you click Linktree, it'll pop up how to register for it, because with social distancing, we can only have 30 people in each session. So the student activities page, Instagram name is WKU_student activities. And like I said, it is mandatory that you attend one of these sessions in order to proceed with joining an NPHC organization. And to move on, I'm going to ask another question. Let's see. What is your organization's favorite event and why? I'm sure all of y'all can answer this for them.
Okay, I'll go first. So we did our Mr. Romeo pageant last fall, and that was actually the first time that we had done it in a few years. But that's probably been my favorite event that we've done, and we do intend on continuing making that an annual thing. But obviously, this fall, with COVID and everything, we aren't able to do that. But that's definitely my favorite event.
I'm gonna beat you this time, Kimberly. So our favorite event, is Train Like an Alpha. It's a great opportunity for females to show their stuff on stage and just stroll and have fun. And for us, it's a great opportunity to meet a bunch of people, and we love putting out our brand and letting everybody experience a little bit of it. And it's just a great way to just show what Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is about.
I would say also we have a pageant as well, Miss Black Western, which has been going on for many years. As I said, it's coming up on 50 years. That's probably one of our favorites because also we get to bond with different girls, meet new girls. And honestly, the pageant is supposed to bring leaders out of them as well. So just encourage them to be a better them and lean on us and we lean on them to make it the best pageant ever. So.
Okay, on top of your favorite event, I know that being in a registered student organization can be hard at times. What do you think is the hardest part about being in your registered student organization and why?
I would say it's just making sure that you and your other chapter members can work together well. Obviously, being in a sorority, everyone knows how girls can get. Sometimes it's pettiness, unnecessary stuff. But at the end of the day, we are all in the same organization. We're all sisters, So just trying to look past certain stuff and just work together for the best of the organization.
I would have to say to piggyback off of Destiny, just like communication, because we have a lot of great ideas, great events, and things like that. But in order for them to be executed, it needs communication with one another and things like that.
I would say for me personally, it's trying to balance, the work with the play, and so I don't mean that as like it's all parties and this and that. No, whatever event we're hosting, like the tabling this coming week, that's fun. Being able to experience or talk to students on campus and stuff, and so balancing that with your academics, of course, because those come first, because that's why we're here in college. And I'd say is the hardest part, just making sure what you're trying to get done as a chapter and individually while you're here at college is the hardest part.
To piggyback off Nigel, with personal experience in undergrad, I know myself, I was very, very, very serious and very business oriented, and I never ever really experienced the fun that I should have because I was always so serious. So I would suggest figuring out how to balance the business and then making a lot of time for fun so that you can reflect back on those memories and be like, oh, we had so much fun doing this, 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 and this, versus just making it just about business. So making it about fun as well, like figuring out the time to have it about business and fun too.
Yeah, I would say one thing that a lot of people don't understand about Greek life until you're a part of it is it is like running a small business, really. And so there's a lot of room to develop professionally, to work with different people, but there's also room to have a lot of fun and meet a lot of friends. So it's definitely a great challenge in finding that balance of work and play. Also, I just wanted to add, for those of you who are watching and are interested in PhD recruitment, I put the link in the chat to the Greek 101 registration, so make sure that you check that out. And if you are watching this in the future on YouTube, you can find the link on the Student Activities webpage or on our social media. Just look up WKU Student Activities and you should be able to find it on any of the social media platforms.
All that I was going to say is that you kind of need to, they were saying find a good work-life balance, absolutely, but also make sure that you do volunteer within your organizations, not just be a part of the organization, but also do more with it, because you're going to get so much more out of it. You're going to get so many more opportunities. You're going to have so much more fun. You're going to build that resume up if that's your end goal. So definitely, balance that work life, but also, make sure that you do get to join different things within your organization, because I feel like it's a great opportunity, personally and professionally.
Yes, to piggyback off of what Alyssa said, definitely broaden your horizon and actually do research on what all student activities has to offer, because we have a lot to offer. We have all types of organizations, whether it's Greek Life, DLI, which is Dynamic Leadership Institute, Campus Activity Board. So it's a lot that you can join on top of going Greek, I will say. So just do your research, and it's going to be fun. It is going to be a fun journey. You should definitely get involved. I definitely agree with getting involved.
And so I have one more question that's not part of the script, but for the panelists, what is something or qualities that you look for in members, or what would make you want someone to be your sister or your brother in your organization?
I believe we look for girls or young women that are already involved. So they bring something to the table. And of course, there's always room to grow, but it's good to look back and look at their resume and see, oh, okay, they had this experience, they had this expertise, and they can bring that to the table.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what she said. Have you already been doing community service? Have you already been, reaching out, trying to do stuff? And then just someone that just, has goals set for themselves, just kind of has their stuff together, and, just stuff like that.
For me personally, with my brothers in my chapter, we all look for specific things within somebody. But for me personally, you can be, the greatest person in the world, but for me, you gotta have that thirst for knowledge, and you gotta keep it, because you can learn something new every day. So for me, that's the biggest quality that I'd like to see in a young man. And because this is a big world out here, and we may not know everything, but we can help each other grow and learn something each and every day.
And I'd also like to add that, just as much as you all are watching all of us on campus and stuff, we're also seeing all of you. So, do we only see you, when it's time for a party, or, stuff like that? So just watch how you represent yourself on campus as well.
So a lot of you all mentioned that you are looking for people who are already involved, and I think that although there's only 3 panelists here tonight, that resonates with probably most of the Greek organizations on campus. So one way that you can get involved, and this is sponsored from the Student Activities Office, is through the Dynamic Leadership Institute. Patrice mentioned it just a minute ago. And so what that is, you'll hear people say DLI. It's Dynamic Leadership Institute. It's a 4-phase program that just allows you to develop team building and resume skills, and really just makes you a really great candidate for an organization, but also for the job market after college. So if you're interested in applying, I just sent the link in the chat. And if you are watching this later on, again, you can find it on all of our social media. As of right now, we're still going to be doing DLI in person, masked, socially distant. So we really would love to see a lot of applicants from the Greek community if you're interested in applying.
Okay, so another good question. I know typically when we join something, we have a passion for it before we join. So, what striked your passion in joining your registered student organization? Like, what made you want to be a part of that organization? Like, ooh, I want to be an AKA. Ooh, I want to be a Sigma Gamma Rho. What sparked that interest?
So for me, like I said earlier, so our mission is catered mostly towards women and children. And I've worked in childcare for almost 4 years now. That's what I'm getting my degree in and everything. So that's really just where my heart is. Our national programs, they really do help women and children, and I love that. And then also it's just when you meet, the people that are in the organization, I felt like I had this whole new support system even before I joined. So just to anyone who is interested, get to know members before you commit to anything.
I would say my passion started pretty young. In middle school, I was a part of AK program. At the time, it was called Emerging Young Leaders. So it was kind of like a mentorship. And I would see how these women would carry themselves and how they cared for us. And they would take us around the city. We would go to museums and things like that. So I've always, well, not always, but I've seen at a young age how AKA works. And I knew I wanted to be a part of something like that. And then also when I got here, the Epsilon Zeta chapter to me was organized on top, and I felt a part of it, or I felt like they were there to support, especially like through the ISEC program. A couple of the members at that time was a part of there, and they always took me under their wing. So I appreciated that from the start.
For me, my family played a huge role into this. I'm a legacy. My father was a part of this fraternity, and also I got to see it firsthand what it did for my brother. Um, when I first started my journey here at Western campus, growing up with him, I know how he was, a little bit how he acted or whatever. But when he joined this fraternity, something kind of like clicked within him, and he grew up really fast, and he just became a man and a great big brother that I looked up to, and that really started my passion. It started when I was young. I seen what my father was doing, all this and that. But when I seen how it changed my brother and what it did for him and what he's doing now, he's doing great things now. It kind of just gave me that kick in the butt that I needed. That I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get this.
And then maybe Alyssa and I could speak to just a different experience because Panhellenic recruitment is a little bit different than NPHC recruitment. So Panhellenic recruitment, if you participate, you go through and see every single chapter on campus and kind of throughout the week narrow down who you like based off of a mutual selection process. So for me, a few years ago now, I was going through recruitment at WKU, and it really was just about finding connections with people. WKU tries to focus on values-based recruitment, so really imagining myself like, can I see me being friends with these people due to the values that I have align with the values of these people. And so I think just keeping that in mind throughout the recruitment process is really important.
And then for me, so I did go through recruitment. I didn't go through here, but it's a very similar process to WKU. It's just a little bit shorter from where I was from. But one of the things that I really look for when I was going through with organizations is philanthropy. So philanthropy is typically something that people volunteer with. I mean, I'm sure most of you do know what philanthropy is. But for my organization, it was domestic violence awareness. So that was something that I was extremely passionate about and something that I wanted to work with, something I wanted to dedicate my time and raise money for. So definitely when you're going through, maybe finding that thing that you're passionate about, like Patrice said earlier, finding that thing that really like lights your fire. Like, yes, I love this organization because of this. For me, part of it was being a member of that to work with that philanthropy. So philanthropy and volunteer opportunities or something else. We do offer some through our office, but through the Greek Life, you'll definitely get more opportunities with that. So.
I know for me personally, a bunch of role models that I had when I was younger, they were all AKAs. And I know a bunch of the members in Alpha Kappa Alpha are educators, and I really wanted to follow in their footsteps. And that's what sparked my interest in joining and becoming a member.
And also piggybacking off of Nigel, I'm also a legacy as well. So shout out to my mom.
Yeah, I was a first generation college student, so I didn't get to do the legacy thing, but I can't wait to hopefully be that for somebody in the future. Absolutely love it. So if you're not a legacy, again, like you're still, feel free to join any organization that doesn't hinder you with anything. Just for all of the people that are watching that might not know what a legacy is or be worried, can I still get in if I'm not a legacy? Legacies are a great thing, but they are not the end all be all. If you're not a legacy, you can still get in.
Also, I wanted to take a moment if there are any of the attendees, not participant or not panelists, but if you have any questions about Greek life or any specific questions for any of our panelists, feel free to unmute yourself or send a message now, and we can give you like a minute for that. And if there's not any questions, then we can kind of wrap up, I think. So if you have any questions, now's your time to unmute yourself.
And while we're waiting for people to maybe also type in the chat box, if our three panelists could kind of go ahead and give advice to Western students right now, like any piece of advice you wish you had had, whether it be as a freshman, sophomore, anything like that. But I feel like that's something that would be really valuable for students to hear, especially now when we're doing things via Zoom and things like that. So maybe just a piece of advice you'd have, Greek related, not Greek related. That'd be nice for some of the people on here to hear.
I guess advice that I was given is to stay in communication with your professors. That's very important. Even though campus looks kind of different, there's ways to reach out, email. Some professors I know give out phone numbers and things like that. So just take advantage of that and try to stay on top of things. Don't wait until you feel like you're struggling to reach out for help. There's many resources and free tutoring all across this campus as well.
Pretty much everything that she said, and then also we hit on earlier, you know, balancing everything that you got to do. You know, prioritize seriously what is most important, what needs to get done first. Write everything down. Just manage your time wisely. Don't procrastinate. You know, just get your work done when you need to. And like Kimberly said, there's so many resources on campus. Use them. They're here for you.
Y'all great. Y'all took some great points. Y'all making it difficult. But you know, along with what they said, you know, those are great. Those are very huge things to keep in track. But I would like to say just be patient with yourself. If you're struggling with an assignment, you know, don't stress yourself out. You know, utilize your resources like they said, and you know, just most of all, take care of yourself. Don't let the overwhelming weight of scholastic work or social life take you over. You know, be patient with yourself, take care of yourself, and you know, school will be there, and you will succeed. Just keep that positive mindset and just keep trying, you know.
Thank you, all three of you. I appreciated that. We do have a couple of questions that have come in. So the first one is, what are the requirements that you have for members when joining?
Okay, so it does differ by each chapter we have in MPHC, but I believe for most, if not all, the minimum GPA requirement is a 2.5. Most, if not all, of our organizations also require community service hours, letters of recommendation. So go ahead and be making those connections in the community and stuff. I know we require a letter of recommendation from someone who's already in the sorority. So like I said, get to know members before you ever make any commitment to anything. Can y'all think of anything else requirement-wise?
I think another requirement is being involved in another organization.
Okay, yes. I believe that's it.
Okay, so the next question says, what is the process like for potential new members, such as interviews, meetings, etc.?
That definitely differs for each organization. That is something I would reach out to an individual member about. So if you do, I'll put my email in this chat. If you need any contact information for a certain chapter, you can just email me and I'll get back with you on that.
Okay, and another one is, what are the costs associated with being in Greek life?
So for MPHC, our advisor recommends that you set aside about $1,500 to join. And then you might not use all of that, that's fine, but you'll also want like paraphernalia and stuff. So like, and this stuff is really expensive. So you'll have a little extra to, you know, put aside for stuff like that. But then, you know, if you want to go to, like we have area meetings, regionals, boulets, stuff like that. If you want to go to stuff like that, that's pretty costly too. So it's a pretty big financial commitment.
And to hit on the Panhellenic side, because I know that that's what Amelia and I were involved in, it is going to depend completely on the organization. There is some set fees that have to be paid to Panhellenic as a whole, but your organization is really going to be the one that debates on how much different things cost and whether or not, like Destiny said, whether or not apparel is involved or things like that. So for Panhellenic organizations, you might have a t-shirt that is covered within your dues, but you might not have everything covered within your dues. That's just an organization by organization thing. And I do believe that IFC, which is the Interfraternity Council, is the same way. Amelia, did I pretty much cover it?
Yeah, I think you covered it. I would say for Panhellenics specifically, like, don't be afraid to ask as well. You can ask what are the dues. It's required at WKU that you are like, that the organization is transparent about financial expectations. So you can ask what are the dues. You can ask like what are other hidden fees that may be included, such as if there was an event that you may have to pay for a t-shirt or something. So you can ask, because there may be one organization that has lower dues and another has higher dues, but the other one includes a lot more. So just make sure those are great questions to ask, just so that you can prepare financially.
And then another question is, what is expected of a member of your organization?
Does one of y'all want to?
So that's really broad.
No, okay. So obviously participation, don't be a t-shirt wearer, you know, don't just join and just wear your t-shirts around, you know, not actually put any work in. Like they said earlier, this really is a business. Everybody has their role. Everybody should be participating and helping in some way. So that's probably the number one. And then also, you know, just managing your time with everything, you know, we'll understand, you know, a few times, oh, I can't make that, you know, but if it's every single time, you have to do some homework, like you have to finish an assignment that's due that night, you know, just because you waited until the last minute, you know, that kind of hinders the whole organization. And then, you know, like I said earlier, just watch how you carry yourself on campus. So like for us, a big thing that our grad chapter and stuff always tells us is just, you know, keep up with your Sigma image. So, you know, watch how you carry yourself in public, because once you join one of these organizations, you're always representing that organization, always. Yes.
And kind of to bounce off that, she pretty much got the whole thing, but to be expected as a member of your organization, to remain in good standing, which means make sure that you pay your dues, make sure that you are putting time into your academics so that your GPA doesn't fall below a requirement of whichever organization and whatever requirement that is. So different organizations, again, are going to kind of expect different things, but overall it's going to be, you know, pay your bills, be a decent human being, make sure that you're actually representing not only your organization, but yourself and Western, all of that really well. So the next one is, what do you feel like joining Greek life offers a student? So I guess, what are the benefits to it?
Go ahead, Kimberly.
Oh, I was just gonna say, probably one of the biggest, well, I guess the two biggest benefits that I've personally have seen myself growing is leadership and connections with people. So not just other AKAs on campus or things like that, but other Greek organizations reaching out to other people from PAN, and not just only IFC, not just only MPHC as well. So it's like building a community of connections and network. And also with leadership, just being able to communicate, like they said before, it's a business as well, sending emails, things like that. So knowing how to conduct yourself in both situations, or whatever situation you're in.
I agree with everything that she said. Also for me personally, it's really just helped me grow as a person. So I used to have like the biggest fear of public speaking ever. I'd probably never would have even gotten on a Zoom call and talked to people like this, or, just spoken in front of people at all. And I definitely would never have been the president of an organization or anything like that. So it's just really helped me grow as a person, just being able to get out there. It's pushed me out of my comfort zone more than anything. And that is so important, especially when you're in college.
To piggyback on the last two questions, as far as what's expected of a member, I will say when joining any organization, don't just show up as a member. Take the initiative to be more than a member. Like, join other positions within the e-board. Go above and beyond. Like, literally make your stamp within that organization. Make yourself memorable and have people remember who you are, because that is what matters. You'll never know if you'll need a letter of recommendation or help from that person one day, whenever. What was the other question?
What do you feel like joining Greek life offers a student?
Okay, as far as the benefits, I think that one of the benefits is networking. A lot of people within these organizations can help you get to the next place in life, as far as career development, letter of recommendations, or just advice on how to become a better you, or just anything, literally. Like, you gain mentors. It helps. It really helps, especially like if you want to move to different locations within the United States. You'll always have sisters or brothers in other areas of the United States that can help you better yourself and get you further in life. And I mean, for instance, say you was to apply to be a graduate assistant here on campus. If you're in one of these organizations and they see that you're in one of these organizations, like, oh, me too, let me help you out. Like, people are more open to helping you because they have a connection with you based off of that organization. So I think it definitely benefits you in the long run. And as far as you being more than a member and doing more and going to Affinity and beyond, that helps because people will get your name out there. Like, oh, I know this person that will be good for this position. It definitely helps.
And just to add to the network thing is the Greek organizations at WKU are also bigger than just WKU. Like, there's the national fraternity and sororities. So there's a great chance that you may meet someone who lives, if your dream is to live in LA or work in LA or anywhere, I'm just using LA as an example, you may meet a sister or brother in LA who can give you this job or this promotion because you have that connection. And so it just really opens your network so much. And I think that's probably one of the best benefits, especially post-grad, is that network that it creates.
Yes, I think we can all agree. Personal, professional development, Greek life helps with all of that 110%. Like Destiny said before I joined Greek life, there's no way I thought I would go to grad school. There's no way I thought I'd be talking in front of anyone. It was not going to happen. But because of my organization and because of getting a leadership position within my organization and because of all of these things, it's definitely helped me grow as a person and as a professional. And networking is so huge. It's not just people that are in your organization that can help you network. It's people that are in a organization that can help you network. You'll be like, oh, like, cool, Amelia, you're in AZD, like, I'm in Alpha Chi, but like, we were both in Greek life. That's so cool. So it's not just your organization. It really is Greek life as a whole is a community. We're not just split up by MPHC and Panhellenic and IFC. Like, we are one huge community, and we really get to help each other out and do things like that. And that for me is one of the biggest benefits of Greek life. I don't think we have any more questions, but this can be our last call if anyone has any more. Ooh, I lied. Someone just popped up. So it says, what are some of the reasons that you joined your specific organization?
So like I said earlier, our mission being catered towards mothers and children, that was a huge reason. Another that I meant to say earlier and I didn't, is that we were the only D9 sorority founded at a PWI, which in Indianapolis, Indiana, which was a huge place for the KKK and stuff. You know, my founders had to go through a lot just to even get our organization founded. So that's one reason I have a whole lot of respect for my chapter. And then just like I said, just the support system that I gained when I met the members and everything like that, that was also a huge reason.
I believe for me, it was that that they were involved, the members or my current sisters were involved in other activities around campus and things like that. So I saw that they weren't just AKAs, they also had other leadership qualities and top guide and various things like that. So that drew me in too, like they're really making an impact on this campus, so.
And you know, like I said before, my family played a huge role for me. You know, it's not the main, or it is the main reason, but it certainly isn't the only reason. You know, I've seen the work that the brothers before me did on the campus. They, you know, whether it's through their voteless people as a hopeless people, their pageant that they put on during the fall semesters, you know, before COVID and everything. But you know, I've seen the work that this fraternity has done and how it's shifted young men into great men. And you know, that's what I want for myself, and you know, that's why.
Well, thank you so much to our panelists. You all did such a great job answering all the questions, and thank you for the attendees who sent in questions. Don't forget, you can apply for, or you can register for Greek 101. You can apply for DLI. Please apply for DLI. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to make you a great candidate for Greek life. And am I forgetting anything else, ladies?
Get involved.
No.
And
Okay.
the Student Activities Office can help you get involved. So we're on the second floor of the DSU, room 2059, in case anyone ever, you didn't get the email link or anything like that. You can always stop by our office. We do have office hours, typically from 8 to 4:30. Usually there will be people here a little bit later than that. But if you have any questions, or if there's something that you just didn't get out of this Zoom call and you just really want to know more about, feel free to come in. We can get you connected to whoever you need to get connected to in order to get your questions answered. So.
Thank you so much.
Joining.
Hi, Braxton.